Cowboys Nation, here's the question. What if the Cowboys are one linebacker away from making this entire defensive rebuild feel real? Because I keep coming back to that every time I look at the Jordyn Brooks story. The edge got attention, the secondary got attention, the front office has not been asleep, but the linebacker room? That still feels like the one place where everybody in the building knows something more has to happen. And when reports say Dallas made a serious call to Miami about all-pro linebacker Jordyn Brooks, that doesn't sound like smoke to me. That sounds like the Cowboys staring right at the last obvious hole and saying, yeah, we know. And let's just say it out loud. Jordyn Brooks would be a huge get. Huge. This is a 28-year-old first-team All-Pro coming off a season where he led the entire NFL in tackles and solo tackles. 183 total tackles, 99 solo, 17 starts, 3.5 sacks, 13 tackles for loss. Those aren't just solid numbers, those are centerpiece numbers. Yeah, that's the profile of somebody who can walk into a defense and immediately become one of its anchors. Not maybe, immediately. And from the Cowboys' point of view, the fit is obvious. Schottenheimer said linebacker has to be addressed. Stephen Jones said the team will keep looking down every avenue. That means Dallas isn't boxed into one answer. It can sign somebody, trade for somebody, draft somebody, or do some mix of all three. But if you can get the all-pro who already proved he can be the answer, man, that changes the whole conversation. Because at that point, you're not talking about potential. You're talking about presence. You're talking about plugging in a real Mike linebacker who can run the show from the middle. That's the kind of move that can save your defense from spending another year trying to figure it out. And what I love most about this rumor is what it says about Dallas mentally. The Cowboys aren't acting like a team that thinks good enough is good enough. They clearly know the defense was unacceptable. They clearly know linebacker is unfinished business. And instead of pretending they can patch it over with hope, they've made the call on one of the best options in football. That should excite fans, seriously, because it means the team sees the same thing we see. And when the front office and the fan base are staring at the same problem, that's usually when aggressive things start happening. Now sure, Miami has choices. The Dolphins are reportedly considering whether to extend Brooks or listen more seriously to offers while they reset the roster. They've got a rebuild vibe going, plenty of draft capital, and a timeline that may not line up perfectly with Brooks' current prime. Dallas, on the other hand, is trying to win while the offense is still strong and the coaching staff is still fresh. That difference in timeline is exactly why this could work. One team sees future picks, the other sees immediate impact. That's the kind of trade equation the NFL runs on. And don't sleep on the Texas angle either. Brooks is from Houston. He played at Texas Tech. He understands the football culture here. He understands how big this state is for the sport. He wouldn't be walking into something foreign. He'd be walking into a football world that already feels like home. That matters when you want instant comfort, instant confidence, and instant buy-in. Cowboys fans would connect with that fast. And if he starts flying around the field the way he did last year in Miami, oh, forget about it. This fan base would fall in love in about 2 Sundays. Yeah. So, where do I land? I land on this being exactly the kind of move Dallas should be willing to make. Not reckless, not desperate, just aggressive and smart. If the cost is manageable, go get the All-Pro. Finish the linebacker problem with a real answer. Let Christian Parker build around somebody proven. Let the young guys develop around a dependable centerpiece instead of having to become one overnight. That is how you stabilize a defense. That is how you help an offense that already knows how to score. And that is how you put yourself back in position to make serious noise in the NFC. So, tell me, Cowboys Nation, if the Dolphins are listening, should Jerry Jones go get Jordyn Brooks and finish this defensive makeover the right way? Drop your answer in the comments, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and stay with me, because if Dallas turns this serious call into a real trade, that might be the move that makes the whole defense finally make sense.